Hello, how is it going? Welcome to the final Gamer Gear podcast episode of 2022. All right. So I am joined by Spooky. All right. You want to introduce yourself? Tell everybody what you do.
Hi, I'm Spooky. Usually I stream without pants, but today I actually have some. It's
Oh,
very unusual for me.
wow. That's quite the introduction there. But I thought we
Only
might.
the highest quality professionalism from me.
I thought we might as well take this to reflect on the year. So I actually have a tier list of all the games in 20 that were not literally every game, but some of the more notable ones that released in 2022. And I actually forgot some of these games came out. It's like this year too. I was like, I thought, I swear that where Dying Light 2, I thought that was a 2021 release, but I guess not. So,
This year really did fly by, especially in the media space.
yeah, dude, Will Smith, the Oscars happened in like March or February or something. That was like 10 months ago.
I just want to point out that you mentioned that, and I immediately was like, no, that's last year. So I see what you mean now.
Yeah. I mean, in like what, 2 days it'll be last year?
To be fair, it's not like anyone actually watches the Oscars,
No.
so you could be forgiven for not knowing what year what happened,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
what event, what year.
Yeah, remember how everybody thought that it was actually staged so the Oscar would get more ratings? Which frankly, the Oscar did need that ratings boost. It
You say
did.
that, but all it did is kind of crater what was left of their already terrible reputation.
But Will Smith is going to be banned from the Oscars for like 10 years, and I highly doubt the Oscar is going to last another 10 years. So
If he was smart, good marketing would be for him to announce his own awards show after this, because he's the only part of the Oscars anybody remembers now was Will Smith slapping somebody.
the
In fact,
Smith Awards.
no, he should call them the Slap Awards. I guarantee you people would watch him, and if he got away from like that bullshit Hollywood elite bubble and he just went ahead and just did his own awards show, people would watch it and people would actually like it. Just get talented performers on there, like actual talented performers, not just these Hollywood starlets nobody's ever fucking heard of, you know?
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I feel like Will Smith is very in bed with all of them. So,
Well, you can see that he's in bed with all of them because his wife owns his testicles, and you can see there's no light behind his eyes. He is a beaten dog of a man, which
yeah,
is unfortunate because I used to really love him in the '90s. He was the best, but that man is dead now. Hollywood took his soul.
so true. And by the way, also, I nearly, I have not even acknowledged this yet. I did make an Instagram account. So, I'm gonna be posting like the shorts. I'll be posting them on Reels as well. To get that Zoomer audience, I guess. To
This
grow the
man,
base.
this man wants the hipster beret crowd coming in here.
Taking photos of their food, putting filters on it. Yeah, but
Okay, I can't hate on that. I've been literally I've been learning to cook recently, so I've been actually sharing photos of my food.
okay, if you cooked it yourself, then that makes sense. But
Yeah, but
if
but to
it's
be fair, I did put cinematic vignettes on them and stuff, so it's not like I'm not innocent in this regard.
innocent, yeah,
I
okay.
straight up photoshopped the food to make the background more pleasing and stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I'm mostly referring to just like going out to like Applebee's or something and then taking the food there. I Who goes to Applebee's anymore? You're going there for the bar and maybe
I
some.
mean, I mean, Applebee's is not very good, but there are other chain restaurants that are better.
And also it's gotten like much more expensive. This is not exclusive to Applebee's, but it has gotten more expensive recently. So which yeah, that
What
just makes
hasn't?
it, that just makes it all worse. Yeah, I mean, at least some video games are still sticking to $60. Elden Ring stuck to $60, but
I'm telling you right now, I'm not doing it. I remember when video games used to be $40. I'm old enough. I am not doing $70 for a video. I just won't. I simply will
Yeah.
not. In fact, I probably won't even buy those games when they go on sale. I've just refused.
Just out. Yeah. It just makes no sense to me how the Demon Souls remake on PS5 was 70, but Elden Ring was 60. And that's like, an open world, completely new game. Yeah.
The Japanese have respect for their customers in the way that the Western megacorps don't.
Well, I mean, it's by the same developers, Bloodborne and Elden Ring.
But I think
Or
that
I meant Demon Souls.
I think the remake was actually done by another studio, and they have a separate publisher, though. I think.
Oh, okay. Is that how it went? Okay.
I think they might have had a separate publisher who's had a influence in setting the price.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the remake had a separate publisher from the original.
Okay. I don't know how that works legally, but yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, before we move on, let me just read some chat real quick. Hatsworth says spooky gang 4 times. Jerry K says finally catching a Gamer Gear live stream. Banana says pants cringe. Apple's Ghost said we got a bunch of ghosts in chat, by the way. Hello, Spooky. I'm still
and
better.
They're all coming for my crown, you bastards.
Hello, Spooky. I'm still the better ghost. Fight me. The Gray Ghost says 07. Dude, can we just have a ghost cast where it's just like all the ghosts? Can we have that? I feel like we need to start that. But
the Ghost Cast. I mean, there's a VTuber ghost group that I'm familiar with that we hang out sometimes. That's pretty fun.
Let's see. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna in the live chat. I'm gonna start a Q&A. It's like, best game of 2022. So we're gonna get all of the samples here. We're gonna get chat, and also I post on the community tab and Twitter. What was your favorite game you played in 2022? So we're gonna be going over all of those. So, and we also have this tier list that we're gonna go over. All right, we've had this on screen for like a while now, and just have not addressed it. Yeah, and I found this online. I was looking for this like 2 hours before it started. I was like, yeah, I want to start this, and I don't want to make it myself. There was another one that just didn't have Pokemon, Sonic, or Kirby on it, or Gotham Knights, or like it was very limited. But this is it.
All right.
Yeah. So let's. So it's in 5. Oh wait. Let me start recording. I wanna clip this. All right. I want to upload it as its own segment. All right. We got
this segment. Let me say, in the words of the great man himself, my body is ready.
My body is ready. So we have 6 tiers. Game of the year, which I'm gonna say that we're gonna make that exclusive to like one game for each of us at most, which would make it 2. Awesome. Yeah, awesome, good, mid, trash, and never played. So I named the mid tier myself. I was originally debating whether it'd be like average or mid. And I was like, you know what? Let's just be more inflammatory.
I also think we should probably establish a rule right now. Like with games we've never played, we should still be allowed to have some opinion on them if we perhaps saw an extensive portion of them through demos or streams, right?
Yeah.
That seems valid to me.
Yeah, right. that is valid.
There's some of these games I have decently well-formed opinions on that I haven't personally gotten to play just yet. So
yeah, never played was just in the tier maker itself. And by the way, for clarification, the Grey Ghost says Elden Ring was Bandai Namco, Demon Souls was Sony Interactive as the publisher. So, and Sony at this point is basically Western.
As soon as Sony moved their headquarters to California, they got infinitely worse, and they were already one of the worst companies out there. So.
Yeah, but
they're the
way,
Comcast of video games.
Yeah, true. By the way, the Grey Ghost is almost at 1K subscribers. So if you have not already, subscribe to the Grey Ghost.
You should instead subscribe to me because I'm the top ghost, and we could beat him, guys.
All right, it's not a
Fighting words. Fighting words.
it's not a zero-sum game. We can subscribe to multiple people.
Well, yeah, but if you subscribe to both of us, it doesn't help me beat him. It's totally different. Just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Okay.
I appreciate you, Mr. Grey Ghost.
Okay. Do you want to let? Should we just go through this in order? Because we got Bayonetta. We got Bayonetta 3.
I'm gonna be real with you. Bayonetta, whole franchise, mid, incredibly mid.
Yeah,
I know people like it a lot, but
I was
not that interesting.
I was gonna say like yeah, I was gonna put it in mid. I wasn't gonna say the whole franchise was mid though. Okay. Fire Emblem Warriors, Three Houses.
I'll go on record, man. I'll go on record in a way that others will not.
Okay.
Bayonetta, whole franchise mid, fan base also extremely mid.
It's not even like you're calling the fan base like the worst thing ever. Like it's
No,
not.
they're just profoundly uninteresting people.
It's like it's not even like Undertale or My Hero Academia. Nah, it's just like very not special at all. That's great.
Look, all I'm saying is the average Undertale fan, like the serious fans of it, you know, they have like that Chris Chan energy where they're a disaster, but they're at least interesting about it. Bayonetta fans, total middle of the road, no comment. There's just nothing interesting. There's nothing there. It's like watching paint dry, but a person.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Fire Emblem 3 or Fire Emblem Warriors, Three Houses. I'm real
trash.
Okay.
Trash.
I was gonna say mid because
it's trash because look, Fire Emblem is one of those like austere franchises, right? It's a very old, austere, wonderful franchise, but this was like the Scooby-Doo version. It's like all the kids in high school version. It's Fire Emblem. It's a franchise that I'm not massively into myself, right? I haven't really played a lot of them, but I recognize when a game series, when a franchise is going for the wider audience and watering down its core appeal massively, and that's it. Okay. Trash.
Like, are you talking about like the Warriors game specifically, or Three Houses? Just this era.
I'm gonna say Three Houses specifically because there were others in that series that I know are quite highly regarded, but yeah, it's a dating sim version of the game. You know, it's low rent.
Okay.
Trash.
Yeah, because Fire or Three Houses was actually developed by a different team from the normal Fire Emblem team, and the upcoming Fire Emblem of 2023, that's actually being made by the not original, but like the team that normally makes Fire Emblem games. So yeah, who knows?
See, who knows? I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have known that, but now that you say it, it makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. Is like Koei Tecmo? Is that the developer? I'm not sure. Dying Light 2. I forgot that this game came out in 2022. And I have not played it.
I got to be honest, everyone forgot that game came out in 2022. That game was around for like 2 days and then it was gone. It's incredibly forgettable.
Just forget. Okay, forgettable. Yeah,
I don't even think. You know what? I think we need a new tier. Forgettable. So forgettable that doesn't even go on the tier list.
Okay, forgettable. Okay,
doesn't even go on the list. Doesn't deserve it.
All right. Wait. Oh wait. Add row below. There we go. Let me just fix up the trash tier. All right.
That row should be called. Now that row should be called. This came out? ?
Okay. I don't like the original Dying Light. It wasn't like the most hyped up thing ever, but I remember it like had some legs to it.
Yeah, and this one came out under like intense hype. There was a lot of hype. It was it was a lot was expected of it, and it just didn't. It didn't anything. It just didn't.
All right. Oh wait. I thought Never Play was supposed to be white. Well, okay.
Appropriate for a shambling hell of a game. It just wandered around and then eventually fell off a ledge.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Nothing to it.
There's a Diablo Immortal. I think I know just on principle where this is gonna go.
Okay, wait. Am I allowed to be aggressively contrarian for its own sake?
Okay, play devil's advocate.
Well, as this game was literally developed by Satan, anyone supporting it must be playing devil's advocate. So advocating for the devil, I want to say it's not it's not good what they did, but it was a very interesting large-scale psychology experiment, so mid. Wait,
What?
I don't know. Do things that are not technically benefit to the industry of games or the people who play games, does that still count? Can psychological research count as a bump up? Can we count that?
So are you saying the backlash against this game makes it better?
No, I'm saying
Okay.
that they actually wrote papers based on this game, which I could probably dig up later. But they wrote papers based on this game, and they actually hired more psychologists than they hired economists or developers. This game was literally designed to be an addictive drug, but they wrote papers on how addictive it will be.
No, I think that's probably trash in that case.
No, it is trash, but
Yeah.
it did actually legitimately advance addiction research, which is fascinating. And a bit of a self-report if you think about it.
Yeah, that's that's shooting yourself in the foot right there. But you know, it's not about mobile games can do the loot boxes, but now Blizzard on console and PC has moved on to battle passes. Survive, or is this Digimon Survive? I don't know. It's like
No idea.
all of these are cropped. I have not played it. Somebody in the community tab comments did say how Digimon Survive was good.
Well, I haven't played it and I have no knowledge of it. I think that goes and never played.
Yeah. Saints Row 2022.
Trash.
Yeah,
Full trash.
Yeah.
It's not even bad in an interesting way. It's just bad.
It makes me want to play the original Saints Row. Like that trilogy.
Okay. Here's my hot take on Saints Row. Saints Row 1, GTA knockoff with a worse story. Trash. Saints Row 2, masterpiece. Should be played entirely by itself, disconnected from all other Saints Row games as a standalone, and it is a masterpiece. Saints Row 3 and on, all trash. Only Saints Row 2 is actually good.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember which specifically was the Saints Row game I played all those hours back in the day.
Probably 2. It's probably 2.
I was like 8 or something.
That explains a lot about you, my friend, playing a game like Saints Row at 8. Just
I mean, you know, it wasn't like my most played game at all. And also it was at my friend's house. I didn't own the game myself. So it was like, oh, we'd see it was like, funny purple bat.
Yeah, look. Saints Row 2 is perfect if you take it by itself, because after the very generic Saints Row 1 that was just a GTA knockoff, Saints Row 2 starts with you waking up in prison after being severely injured in a referenced but not well explained yacht explosion, which was the finale of the first game. You wake up, there was a guy who was allegedly on your side who betrayed you to work with an evil mega corporation that's trying to take over the entire city, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now your job is, you, a gang leader, objectively a terrible person in every way, go through a bunch of wacky hijinks, adventures, and serial murders, a lot of serial murders, to fight your way up through the top along with your quirky Scooby-Doo band of absolute sociopathic monsters. There is literally comedy, tragedy, it's Shakespearean all the way through. And at the end, you are given the final villain basically says, look, we're not so different, you and I. And your character basically pulls spoilers for a 12, 13, 14-year-old game. Your character basically says, yeah, but the difference is I'm not dead, and kills him. And then that's it. You're bad guys. You won. That was a perfect game. And Saints Row 3 should never have existed, or at least have been a soft reboot in another city, because it's shit all over it.
They ruined the lore.
They did ruin the lore, because the game was wacky and weird to an extent, but it wasn't so gonzo out there that it was a cartoon. You could still take things seriously. In Saints Row 2, one of your lieutenants, one of the main characters in your gang, gets dragged behind a monster truck by a rival gang until dead. You have to actually mercy kill him because he's so messed up by the time you get there to save him. That's actually a pretty dark moment played completely straight. And there's also a part of the game where you jump in front of cars to commit insurance fraud. It's kind of the perfect game, really.
Peak gaming right there.
It really is quite good.
The next one we have is Ghostwire Tokyo.
Awesome.
Awesome. Awesome, you say?
I can defend this one too.
Okay, I haven't played it, so I don't know.
Okay, look. In its standard, like, default gameplay loop, it's effectively an open world collectathon kind of action adventure game. It seems fairly straightforward, right? There's nothing massively innovative about that. But what is quite cool is it has a relatively small open world that is extremely dense, extremely well realized, and it mixes in a decent amount of interesting stealth elements. And the audio design is just crisp. It's beautiful. It's one of those games that is as much an art piece as it is an interactive experience, and it doesn't get the respect it deserves.
Okay, yeah, I was not expecting that. Yeah, I was just about to put it in never played because I actually haven't. I don't know. You make me want to play it now.
Honestly, just look up like some random Let's Play footage after this, and just like skip to the middle and just watch the game be played for a little while, and you'll be like, "Wow, this is incredibly dense."
Yeah, just see the gameplay. Yeah, actually, that's actually.
It's like a pound cake. It's a dense, elegant thing. It's simple but heavy.
Yeah, wait, I'm about to look this up on Steam right now. Is it on sale? Ooh, $24.
Ooh,
60% off. Okay. Yo, I have like a huge stream schedule that basically backlog, but I might have to pick this one
I'm gonna actually have to stream this one too because it's kind of like right on my theme. I really have to.
Yeah. Vampire the Masquerade. Wade.
Yes, the Vampire the Master Wade.
Yeah, the one like Minecraft kid from like 2013 Minecon is like detonated wham.
I don't.
It's a deep cut.
That is a deep cut.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I haven't played this one.
What is this one? Is this the sequel one? I thought that didn't even come out.
It's like Swan Song. It might be like a DLC expansion. Am I just gonna have to?
Is that the battle royale that nobody liked?
Wait, is it actually a battle? No way, it's a battle royale.
There actually was a Vampire the Masquerade battle royale. I don't know if it came out this year or not.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's like so low resolution. I can see there's a subtitle there. I just don't know.
Let's see. Official gameplay trailer.
Yeah, is it?
Oh, you know what this is?
What?
It's a walking simulator.
Oh, okay.
They made a straight up walking simulator and called it a role playing game. It's literally. Okay, I haven't played it. Oh no! You know what? It's trash.
Okay.
Yeah, I could tell from the official gameplay trailer. It's skipping through, and you're checking all the diversity boxes, and all the characters have extremely poor facial animation. So I could tell low quality, checking boxes. It's trash. I don't even need to play it to know it's trash.
Sounds like Mass Effect Andromeda.
It looks like Mass Effect Andromeda, to be honest. Not quite that buggy, but close.
All right, we got Gotham Knights, and I think that goes trash tier.
I've got a whole lot to say about Gotham Knights, and I don't think I can say any of it on YouTube without getting us demonetized here or whatever. So,
for Gotham Knights runs at 30 frames per second on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X.
Look, the optimization problems are definitely not good, but there are other games that have optimization problems, like Cyberpunk had optimization and bug problems, lots of them. But it was still a decent game. It was still a decent game at its core. Gotham Knights is bad because of fundamentally bad design. In the core of its soul, it wants to be too many different things. It's a series of focus group created systems designed to keep players addicted rather than actually being fun. And it plays like trash. This is look, Sorry, I know I'm going on a bit of a rant. Look, go off, King. No, look, the original Arkham trilogy, that's Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, were developed by one studio. Between the second and third game, simultaneously created with Arkham City, the spin-off Arkham Origins, which is a prequel allegedly set in the same universe, but not really because they butchered everything, was made by the same studio that made Gotham Knights. And it sucked. It was buggy. It was borderline unplayable for most people just because of bugs alone. And on top of that, the design was just fundamentally not good. It lacked all the freedom, the creativity, and just the tight, well-tuned brawler gameplay that the original trilogy had. And all the things that made that bad, they focused on and doubled down on those for Gotham Knights and left behind all of the good Arkham DNA entirely, while marketing it as a spiritual successor to the Arkham games. Absolute trash. In fact, it deserves worse than trash because not only was it bad, it was also deceptive as hell.
Yeah, I feel I don't. A part of me just wants to move Fire Emblem Warriors up to mid, just
because we're getting so many other things in trash. It seems like they were.
Everything
perhaps
else
I've
is
judged you too harshly.
Yeah, because I don't know, it's a Warriors game, all right? It's like junk food, all right? You'll enjoy it for the time that you're eating it. It's not much else.
You know what? I can agree to that. Let's move that up to mid. That's fair. It's junk food. It's not a good game per se, but it's not an offense.
Yeah, it's repetitive. If you like the gameplay loop, then it's good background noise or whatever.
All right.
Yeah, it's stimulating the brain.
Wait a minute. I'm seeing some nonsense in the chat. Sir, I could not crap on Jason Todd any more than that game did with his characterization. That was the other big problem with Gotham Knights. It mischaracterized every character in it so terribly. Treating Jason Todd as if he's a one-dimensional Unga Bunga caveman rage monster is the most ridiculous characterization for him ever. He was never a rage monster, even after the Lazarus Pit. His whole thing is that he was annoyed. He was deeply hurt. If anything, he was more sad than angry. He was just channeling it into violence. His whole thing was that he wanted justice, and he had a different idea of what justice was to Batman.
Yeah.
Nobody craps on Jason Todd more than whoever wrote that travesty of a game.
Yeah, I remember there's some controversy with the writer, but this was probably 2 years ago or whatever.
That writer was one of those, let me see how many fans I can piss off because that's how to do my job as a writer, people.
Yeah. All right. Gran Turismo 7. I mean,
good.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good.
Gran Turismo is a consistently good game series. Even the worst games in that series are good. They're all good to great.
Yeah.
No complaints.
Yeah. Good to,
honestly. Okay. The problem with Gran Turismo when you're talking about putting it anywhere on a list is just that it's hard to have enough to say about it because there's very few things to criticize. It's just all around solid.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything too special. It's just good. It's a good car game. Horizon Forbidden West.
Mid.
Oh. All right. Do you want to explain your reasoning?
Okay. It's mid because it's one of those games it's junk food. It's not offensive. It won't, it won't take your lunch money, but there's no substance there. It's 80% air, right? It's a game where you wander around a map and you check off collectibles, but it doesn't have the same artistic flair that something like Ghostwire does. So while the gameplay loop is basically the same, it's filler. It's filler. It's all filler. And realistically, the other big problem with it as well is I've heard that it's too easy for even average to below average gamers on the higher difficulties because they don't want anybody to be left behind. So it's just forgettable mid.
Do you feel the same way about Zero Dawn from 2017?
I would say it's probably higher up than the sequel, but it's still pretty mid.
Okay. Yeah, I remember in 2020, my friend was talking about how much he loved Zero Dawn. Right? It was just like he went on that 20-minute schizo rant about it, and I just listened.
You know what my big complaint about the original was actually though?
What was it?
They made a character with red hair specifically so that they could make it so she could only hide in red grass.
That's kind of funny.
I'm just saying, with all the erasure of the gingers from Hollywood films and stuff like that, and that as well, I'm starting to think that people got it out for people with red hair. I'm a little concerned about that.
All right, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I'm gonna put this at awesome. I this is good. Yeah,
it's exactly what you want out of a Kirby game.
Yeah, this might be the best Kirby game. It's the first 3D Kirby game. I think, you can upgrade your powers, all that good stuff. You get a whole town you can explore. The combat, the combat.
Lots of good collectibles. Yeah, I mean, plus Kirby car. I love the Kirby car. It's just cute as hell. It's great. Awesome. Absolutely.
The only thing where I think this game falls off is the post game, where you have that other world where you have to collect Leon's soul. I think, pieces of his soul. I do appreciate how if you collect all of them in all of the pieces in one area, it'll tell you, hey, there's nothing left. You can move on now. But still, I don't think just scattering a bunch of shards everywhere in a linear game is the greatest thing. And I think there can be up to 30 pieces per stage. And obviously it doesn't help how it's basically the the Crash 4 inverted levels. It's basically that, but all the levels of one world are kind of, they pick bits and pieces from each level of one world and then compile them together in one level. That's the post game.
I see the philosophy there, the intention of it, but that does sound like it might fall a little flat. Yeah. I feel like collectibles only really work in games that are meant to be about them. Nobody's gonna say Banjo-Kazooie, which was fundamentally just all collectibles all the time. That nobody's gonna say that wasn't an amazing game. It's a classic, right? But that's because it took collectibles, go and collect the thing, as its core gameplay loop. It was with purpose. It was designed with purpose. Yeah. Adding collectibles as just kind of a gimmick or a side objective with little thought put into it never works well. Always falls flat.
Yeah. I mean, there was thought put to it, but there's but if I miss one shard or one piece of Leon's soul in the entire level, I have to redo the whole or I think I just have to start from the beginning. I'm not even sure if I have to complete the whole level or I can just exit once I complete all the souls. But I don't like that part, but it's a cherry on top. And I haven't even completed that part, so I don't know if it unlocks.
I mean, if it's post-game content, I think we can kind of just call that it's a side thing. Yeah. The core game is the campaign point up to the finish. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Easily
It's
awesome.
Great. All right. Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Good?
I was gonna put this at good too. I can't objectively say it's great, awesome, or put it above, but I did enjoy it, even though the graphics kind of bad. I mean, at least it runs somewhat well.
Look, put it this way, right? When you look at it in comparison to other Pokemon games, it's the first one that tried to do something truly innovative, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone seems to regard it pretty well. It stuck the landing. And fundamentally, when you kind of look at Scarlet and Violet coming out, which is more of a mainline Pokemon game, it's trying to take some things from Arceus, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it just doesn't stick them. It doesn't land well. Because the Arceus game, for all its flaws, was fundamentally a good core design. It had a good loop to it.
Yeah. Dude, frankly, they should have just brought in the art. Okay, one, we'll talk about Scarlet and Violet later, but they should have just brought in Arceus, the whole battle system, the catching system, because you can just throw Pokeball, the Dark Souls roll. All right, just have that all in Scarlet and Violet. All right, that would that would have improved it a bunch. Also, arguably, just make Legends Arceus the winter 2022 title for this year, and then have Scarlet and Violet delayed by a year. I think
Potentially.
I mean, like, yeah, if you're trying to think about like the anime or whatever, one with like, because it released in January, so with all that development, you could have made a bunch of new Hisuian forms, right? And it's just so you can get the plushies and the merch and like the anime specials or whatever. And and then Scarlet and Violet, probably wouldn't taint the entire image of the video game franchise.
I feel like Scarlet and Violet. Well, we'll get there, but
No, we
it
can.
doesn't offend.
We might as well talk about it now.
We might as well talk about it now. Okay, here's the thing: Scarlet and Violet. It's not offensive. It's also not awesome. I wouldn't even necessarily call it good. It's mid. It's
I'm calling it trash.
Look. Let me defend this.
Okay.
It's mid, and the reason it's mid is because it doesn't necessarily have that much going for it. It has a lot of flaws. It's true. But if you ignore the fan base, if you leave it by itself, if you treat it as it is, right? And you just take it for what it's worth, it's again, it's junk food. It's fluffy filler mostly. And, it's not going to change your life. You're going to forget it when you're done playing it, but it's not going to it'll entertain you while you play it.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty mid. Put it this way. Do you really think it's as bad as Diablo Immortal?
I'll have to see that for myself.
Mm.
I'll have to see for myself because I watch streams of Scarlet and Violet, and like obviously there's performance issues, but I don't want to. Cause I almost went in the Gotham Knights route where I only criticize the performance, but there's just fundamental issues with it.
It does have some fundamental issues, but on the whole, it's fun.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not life changing, but it's fun.
Yeah. I'll bite the bullet and say mid for now. Lost Ark. I've never heard of this game.
It's a Korean market MMO that came early this year.
Just never played. Came out.
I have played it, and I didn't
Okay.
play it for very long for a good reason. It has a lot of very Korean market design choices that are difficult for a Western company, and it's not. Let's just say it's a very long game with not that much going on. While it does have a decent enough story, it's okay. It's not great by any means. If you like MMOs and you don't mind grind, it's fine. Otherwise,
Mid.
Okay.
Multiverses. I'm tempted to just say mid.
I'd put it in good, and here's why.
Good.
Fundamentally, it's trying to challenge a genre, like a specific subgenre of the party fighting game kind of thing, that really hasn't had any competitors in it. You had what was it, Sony All-Star Battle, and arguably you could even say Marvel vs. Capcom kind of leans in that direction these days more as its mechanics have changed over time. But like realistically, in that genre, when you look at it, there's Smash Bros. And that's it. Multiverses did a good showing, even if it doesn't really compare to Smash Bros. It put a good showing. It's fun. It's competent. You can play it with friends. You'll have a good time, and it's a free to play game. It's selling skins, so it's not offensive in any way. Everything about it is it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah. But Multiverses in the season 1 patch added like like anti-cheat, and now I can't mod the game, and that was like the best part of it.
But what do you need to mod into the game when Ultra Instinct Shaggy is a canon character?
Colossal.
He literally is.
I mean, I modded the Colossal Titan over the Iron Giant, and
that seems like a downgrade to me.
Charlie from Smiling Friends over Steven Universe.
That one is definitely an upgrade.
Yeah, that's an upgrade. Yoshin in chat is saying Scarlet and Violet is worse than mid because of the performance.
I think we're really aiming mostly to stick to design principles, because performance, honestly, if you start criticizing performance, half the list is going to fall down to trash.
I mean, like it's particularly egregious for Scarlet and Violet.
It is pretty egregious, I admit. I would be willing to say it's on the low end of mid, but I don't think that's enough to make it trash because you'll still enjoy it when you play it. Like, it's not
Okay.
that bad.
All right. Yeah. So do you want well, we'll have chat to be. You know what?
Are we gonna put a poll on this
yeah,
one?
yeah. I'm gonna do a poll. Let's see. Start a poll. Uh, Pokemon SV, and we're
Can we split the difference and decide arbitrarily that one of them is mid and one of them is trash? Look, okay,
I
look,
don't know
look.
why there's two of these in this tier list.
It's because one is Scarlet and one's Violet. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Scarlet is trash. Violet is mid. Here's why. Listen. Okay, Scarlet has hot caveman lady. It's true, but they have the poverty cycle. The wheels don't even turn. The poverty motorcycle program Pokemon who just awkwardly waddles around at high speed. Whereas in Violet, you have Professor Giga Chad, and
Mhm.
you have a transforming Mecha Dragon. It's clearly the better option.
Okay. Yeah, I guess makes sense. So, you know what? Let's see the chat roll in. Oh wait,
What
yeah.
do you think, chat?
All right. It's 60% trash, 40%. Oh, 50-50.
Come on, guys, agree with me.
All right.
I'll
Yeah.
bribe you.
Let's see. Yoshin says if it's a AAA game, then you should expect it to work. I mean, nowadays I expect it not to work. And
I'm
by
gonna be honest. With a AAA game these days, I'm happy if it just basically runs, even if it doesn't run well. Standards
real.
have slipped over the years.
Okay, there's 7 votes in. By the way, I did add a good option, and 0% picked good. So I think that's pretty telling. At least
I mean,
at least where the audience is at.
I agree with them. It's
Yeah.
not a.
Yeah. So okay. Let's continue on. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I'm tempted to say
I have
mid.
some criticisms, but I'd say good, and here's why.
Good. Okay.
Not only does it have pretty tight mechanics and it basically plays well, it has good atmosphere, and they didn't change much from the original. They polished it up in a few areas, but they didn't like offensively change it to be like political in a way that is arguably kind of political in the first place, but they didn't change the politics to be a new type of thing. It's pure to the original vision, and it plays well. It's good.
Okay.
It's kind of what you expect from a modernish military shooter. You go around, you shoot the bad guys, and then somebody tells you good job. It's pretty simple.
Good. Yeah.
Plus,
Remember last year? What were you gonna say?
It came with a refresh to Warzone to make it actually playable by like normal people and not just like terminally online sweatlords. So Warzone
Okay.
2.0 is also quite fun. So I think that counts. That gives it points too.
Right. Yeah, I haven't played the new Warzone. It's been over a year since I played Warzone. Wow. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Uh yeah. Modern Warfare, I don't know. I just heard like how the microtransactions are egregious or whatever. How it's just I don't know, like I saw this one like the menu's it's just not the same. I can't like objectively say it's like worse than the original, but it's just
To be fair, the menus are pretty much a mess on all
yeah,
fronts, but that's
every multiplayer game.
universally, like UI experts, so to speak, they're aliens that pretend to be human. They don't think the way normal people think. They think that having like 5 bajillion tabs that are like 3-dimensional panels that like spin and rotate is somehow like intuitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Um, yeah. No, new or was it? A new Tales from the Borderlands? I didn't
Trash.
yeah, okay.
Trash. It's just
Okay.
straight up trash.
Okay. Plague Tale or Requiem? I have not played it. Have
It's
you?
good.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
Plague Tale is pretty much purely a stealth game. It has basically solid mechanics, and the story's quite interesting. It's good. I don't think it'll like completely blow anybody's mind, but the characters are basically likable, basically believable, and
Okay.
you can you can have a asshole knight devoured by a swarm of rats at your command. At one
Yeah.
point, you quite literally have to escape a rat tsunami. It's kind of awesome.
All right, so I'm looking at the poll, and it's 15 votes. So I think it's good to end. It's 60% trash, 40% mid.
I'm telling you, Scarlet's trash, Violet's mid. Professor Giga Chad saves it.
That'll okay, but we'll move it. So are we gonna try to organize within the tier, like the close?
We might want to circle back to that at the end and see if there's anything
Yeah.
obvious, but I don't think we need to worry about it too much.
Yeah. Like these are not final. We'll just like scan over these at the end and see. Yeah, so Ivan Lozano says Pepe's living in their mother's basement have made better ROM hacks than Pokemon Company has made actual games with unlimited money and resources. Yeah,
To be fair, Mr. Lozano is not wrong.
Pokemon is the biggest, highest grossing media franchise out there.
But as long as people keep buying them, they have no reason to improve. So
yeah, that is true. Yoshkin says, "Hey, when you two talk about Xenoblade, add me in." Okay, so all right, Yoshkin, I did tag you in the channel for you to join. Yoshkin says, "That's funny. I'm working on a review for Borderlands 3 right now." Yeah, but I mean, remember when what was it? The one streamer like Submato was like raided by like Take-Two's goons for quote unquote leaking Borderlands 3 stuff. That was crazy.
What did he do? Predict that it was going to have cringe writing and terrible humor?
No, okay, so this is what happened. So, like Take-Two was having like a private Twitch stream, all right, for like investors or whatever, and it was showing off Borderlands 3 gameplay. But how Twitch works, if you have a private Twitch stream, you'll be able to see the thumbnail of that Twitch stream, even if you're not like allowed in or whatever. So Submato would just kind of, take screenshots of the thumbnail and like predict from there.
So what he was doing is he was basically just refreshing the cache on his browser repeatedly, so the thumbnail would be regenerated each time.
Yeah.
So he was effectively just getting the whole stream at like a low frame per second. It's actually quite smart.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, let me we'll have
quite smart actually. Yeah.
We'll have Yoshkin in here to talk about Xenoblade 3. I was already gonna put Xenoblade 3 as awesome because I trust it.
Oh, that's great. I see Manic has good taste, even though he hasn't touched the game yet.
I have not touched the entire franchise. To be fair, it's it's a commitment, right?
It is. Each game is 70+ hours.
Yeah. So okay. I'm playing through Persona 5 Royal right now, okay? That I'm like 120 in that right now.
Fundamentally, Xenoblade is one of those franchises. It's very austere. It's very well regarded, and by everything I've heard from people who know and love the franchise far more deeply than I ever could, they say that 3 is a wonderful continuation of the. It keeps the formula and it does more. I have heard that it's not as good as some of the others in the franchise, so I'd probably put it in good.
What are you comparing the last 2 games, such as Xenoblade and Xenoblade 2, or are you comparing the Xenogears saga, or the what's the other one? Yeah, Xenogears or Xenosaga? Yeah, are you comparing those 2?
I was sticking strictly to the Xenoblade games, where I'm told, and I have reason to believe, I have it on good authority, that the third entry, while quite good, is not quite up to the standard of 2, and I buy it.
When you're taking in consideration for fan service, yes, it tones it down just a bit, but
that seems like a negative to me.
For one, like, this is the only time I'm going to disagree. This is literally the only time I will ever disagree that less fan service is preferable. It dials it back down to about more than one, but less than two. And every time they did the fan service in two, it felt out of place, if that makes any sense. It felt like it wasn't justified. Don't get me wrong, I love me some freaking fan service like that, like the rest, like the other guy. But it feels like they reined it in just enough where it feels nice. The story for this game is the best in the series.
I want to point out, though, there's one core problem.
And that is?
Complete lack of Welsh cat girl.
Do you want me to talk about spoilers?
I'd prefer not.
Look, if I don't have a Welsh cat girl to call somebody a one-eyed monster, I'm not in for it. All right, it knocks it down. It knocks it down a level.
Well, let's say the Welsh cat, because it's actually in the freaking promotion. She's in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, but if she's not a core party member, it hardly counts.
If you want to get into spoilers, I could say yes or no if she is a party member.
I mean, I think that should be fine if you say yes or no.
Yeah, she becomes a party member in the end game.
Ooh. See, you have to earn her now.
Yeah, you have to earn her. Nia is my favorite character of two, by the way. So I understand. But no, the story is freaking amazing for this game.
Wasn't the canon ending of 2 that the protagonist bangs like her and 2 of the robot girls, the blades?
Yes, quite literally. The canon ending is Rex is secretly Chad, even though I don't like the character as much. And he has 3 babies with all of them.
That is absolutely based. I think we need to get Xenoblade 2 on this list. I don't care if it breaks the rules, and it needs to go up to awesome automatically.
Even if it's from 2017.
Don't care.
No.
It belongs.
I mean, it's the best combat in the series. The story is freaking amazing.
Look, all I'm saying is on the Giga Chad option alone, like my man's got the canon. He got the canon harem ending. Absolutely lad.
It's quite literally in the credits of of Xenoblade 3 that he has all these babies. Dead serious, like all like Pyra, Mithra, and Nia are all holding a baby.
Oh,
in the freaking nice picture that Nia still has. They're all good. Just holding babies.
That's good. All right.
Absolute Giga Chad.
We might just do a tier list of like Nintendo Switch exclusive games. I think that would be good.
That might be something to do at some point.
Yeah. So we have like it's obvious it won't be like huge. It'll be bigger than this, but still. All right. Mario Striker. I think has the Xenoblade debate ended. I think Awesome's a good place to put it.
I personally think it's game of the year. He says good, and you put it at awesome, so I'll take the compromise.
Yeah, we're gonna decide game of the year between all the awesome ones. I think
okay.
At the end. Mario Strikers Battle League. I know where I'm gonna put this.
From what I've heard, it's another case of doesn't quite match up to the classics, but still quite good. So good.
No, it is not good. No, it is
2
bad.
minutes of it.
Okay. Oh well, if you play 2 minutes of it, that's the entire game. You've seen all the content there is. That's it. All right, and like the new. Okay, all the voice lines are just reused. This is a particularly egregious for Pauline, who was added through an update. All right, and by the way, the characters basically play the same. So adding new characters doesn't fix anything. All the new stadiums, they play the exact same, which is not like the previous 2 games where the
Chargers.
the stage actually matters. But this it's literally just like Mario Tennis Aces. It's like all the same stage.
But Aces was actually a good game, though.
Yeah, this is probably more like Ultra Smash, honestly. I'm not saying it's as bad as Ultra Smash, but still, no content at all.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
And I was looking forward to this game too.
Me too. If you've seen my reaction, I'm tempted to pull this up right now. Wait, hold. Actually, do you want it?
Mario suckers.
Yeah, after this, I'll pull it up. Yeah, garbage. Next one up is Scorn. I have not heard of this game.
It's trash. It's trash.
Okay.
Fundamentally, it's H.R. Geiger's like weird, techno-organic, like uncomfortably sexualized, but in a gross way, kind of like aesthetic. You have guns made of meat that fight monsters made of meat, and you're made of meat in a world made of meat. And I gotta be honest, that's it. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's slow, it's clunky, it's short, and there's at one point a machine that sucks your dick. That's actually true.
That kind of sounds cool.
No, it's gross out for its own sake, and it does it poorly. There's not much game there. You walk around, and it's effectively an art piece, and not a good art piece. It's a very unpleasant art piece.
Okay.
It's not thought provoking. It's just gross for gross's sake. It's like, oh look, I'm being so transgressive. You're not that interesting.
Okay. I'll take your word.
Yeah. We'll take that on face value.
You'll want to look up footage of that and not show it on stream. Trust me.
Okay. Sifu. I have not played Oh, awesome. Okay.
Awesome. Look, it's effectively another take on the sort of like fast, snappy fighting style that you get in something like an Arkham series, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's effectively a strategic brawler where you have to manage your distance from enemies, combo effectively, counter when enemies attack, and you basically just fight your way through loads of dudes, do a little bit of light parkour here and there as set pieces, and fight some really interesting bosses in a game that's quite challenging and has a cool central gimmick where when you die, you get magically resurrected, but you're a little older each time, which makes your attacks stronger because of Chinese martial arts, because you're more experienced, but it makes your health lower each time. So it has a balancing act. You become more of a glass cannon the more you die. And it has like some cool roguelike elements as well.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
I thought it would make you slower, not give you less health.
Well, I mean, if you're old, you have glass bones. But more importantly, that game is also incredibly moddable. There are mods to have you be Ultra Instinct Shaggy, to be Daredevil, to be Batman, to be, you name it, they got it. Like, there's a mod for everybody. There's Bruce Lee. Like, it's hard to find, like, there are very few mods for that game that aren't freaking hilarious.
Yeah, I think Sifu may be on Game Pass, so I'll have to check it out.
Basically, Sifu is the ultimate Daredevil game, and it should have been a Daredevil game from the start. They should have given him the license because that's how it plays. It's great.
All right, Sonic Frontiers.
I say good.
It's good.
Yeah. I'm thinking good. I don't know.
It's got some jank. It's got some jank. It's got some problems, but it's arguably the first decent Sonic game in a long time, and that alone makes it a good thing.
It's a nice proof of concept.
Yeah. I mean, like, there are updates coming throughout the next year but I'm not gonna judge it on content that's not even out yet. So I think this is a good place to put it because it's just like I like it, but there's just I don't want to say technical issues or it's just not too impressive. It looks very Unreal Engine.
You can make Sonic draw a giant Amogus on the ground with magical sparkly lights. I think that's worth points.
Yeah, that's fair.
It does have a lot of pop-in issues. That's the most jarring thing about it.
To be fair, though, a fully 3D Sonic game in any modern engine, you're going to struggle against pop-in anyway when you just get going fast enough because it's a base game.
Yeah, I understand that part. So that's why I'm not really harping too much on it. It's still a thing that irritates a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's good. Splatoon 3, I'm willing to say it's good too.
Same.
Yeah.
I would say it's awesome. Look, Splatoon is one of those franchises that it's not for everybody, right? But for the people who like it, it's been consistently delivering entry after entry without question. I haven't heard a bad word about it from anybody who likes that franchise. And while it's not necessarily my thing in like specific, I appreciate that it's still kept that same strong core design from the original, where you can play as an aggressive player, you could play as a defensive painting player, or you could kind of mix it up and do a little bit of both situationally, and you're a solid contribution to your team no matter what you're doing. It's the only game I've seen that's like a shooter. Effectively, it is effectively a shooter.
It's a shooter.
Yeah.
It's the only game I've seen that's a shooter that caters to people who aren't necessarily the best at shooters. It tries to bring them in a way that they can still contribute to the team without being a drain on the match, right?
Yeah.
I think that's valuable, and it's consistently delivered. They haven't failed their core audience yet. So I say it's awesome.
I'm like, but you have not played it, or have you?
I have played it a little. I'm like the core. I'm not the core audience of any of the Splatoon games. I've played all of them a little bit.
Yeah, I think
they all play well. They control tight. The movement is great. The weapon variety is very interesting. I think it's awesome. Yeah. I don't have a negative word to say about them.
Here's my only 2 issues with it. I think I have like 70 hours in Splatoon 3. I might have gotten it at launch too. So it's a little too similar to Splatoon 2. I feel like it just didn't do enough more. And also the updates have been kind of slow until now. Like, I don't think we've really gotten a new weapon until recently, like last month.
I suppose that is a fair criticism.
Well, Splatoon 2 was very similar to Splatoon 1, so it's just a slightly improved sequel.
The thing is, it's on a different console.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Which justifies it.
Here's my thing though. While I'm not necessarily, like, as an industry standard, while I'm not necessarily the fondest of it, the whole, update that is basically the same style of game but with like improvements does seem to be becoming a standard. You got your Overwatch 2, Splatoon does it. That's going to be something we're going to see more and more. And I'm not crazy about it, but as industry conventions go, it's not the most egregious by far, so I'm willing to kind of give it a pass.
Yeah, I'm fine with iterative sequels on, like, for single player games, like a Majora's Mask, Galaxy 2, stuff like that.
To be fair, the Arkham series is another one that actually is a good example of that. Yeah. Circling back to that.
Yeah, like asset reusing.
I think Splatoon works for what it is, and it caters to its core audience who just wants more Splatoon. I can't say that's a negative. I can't see it as a negative.
Yeah, that's why I said it was good, not like mid.
Yeah, that's good. I'll keep it there. Stray.
Walking Cat Simulator.
Game of the year immediately.
It's an artsy game. That makes it awesome. It does exactly what it wants to do. It doesn't try to be something it's not. It's fundamentally a walking simulator, but it's a pretty interesting walking simulator as they go.
Okay. Yoshi, do you have any input?
Not really. It's just a walking simulator. Usually I don't put them in Game of the Year material for me, but if everyone likes it, it's fine.
It's well liked. It's an artsy game. It's right up there with something like Ghostwire, where it's like the gameplay isn't going to blow your mind. It's not innovative in that way, but it's artistically interesting, and that's worth enough to me, at least, to make it awesome.
I understand that part. Yeah, I understand that part, but it's also a cat game, and the internet goes crazy for freaking cats.
Yeah, that is
maybe
true.
So, but even so, I still say it's awesome.
Not saying it doesn't deserve the praise that has been given. I'm just saying it's cat game. I understand why it freaking blew up. If you want to put an awesome, I don't care.
I think it's awesome.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, we'll put Stray in awesome. You know what? I'm fine with that. All right.
Stray is one of those games that just because of its artistic merit, it's awesome.
All right. The Castillo Protocol.
Callisto Protocol.
Callisto. Okay.
Yeah, that's a Dead Space thing. Isn't that
trash? It's trash.
Okay.
Although, you know what? Mid. The reason I say mid is because you can play it like a fighting game with like weapon switching and canceling animations, which is kind of cool.
Okay. I don't know. I won't I won't push back on that. So, this is the Borderlands spin-off, Tiny
Tiny
Tina's
Tina.
Wonderland. Yeah.
It's mid, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't played it. I have no desire to play it until it's like $15. Still a bit too high because I'm burned on Borderlands 3 when it comes to content from them.
Honestly, with that one, I would actually argue Borderlands 3 was not great. Borderlands 2 is insufferable, but it's basically a good game. This one actually almost feels like a return to Borderlands 2 with a nice new set of mechanics. I'd say mid, leaning good, somewhere in there.
You said Borderlands 2 writing was insufferable or 3? Because I think 3 is insufferable.
2 is already insufferable. 3 is just absolutely like ice pick yourself in the skull. You'll have a better experience.
I had fun with the jokes in 2, so I enjoyed it a lot. But if you didn't like it, then
it has a problem of that like Rick and Morty way too pleased with itself kind of thing. Here's what you need to see about Callisto Protocol. This is why it's worthy of mid instead of trash, because it's actually kind of cool that you can play it that way. I don't think that was even intended by the developers, but it's just quite cool that you can do it.
Yeah.
Right. That might be one to share on stream if you've got that set up, because it's quite a cool little clip.
All right. So by the way, we have Tunic and Warhammer Darktide left, but there's like a few games that are missing from this, and I don't know how to just like add more on natively, so I might just have to just like talk about it without actually putting anything on. So Tunic, I'm gonna say mid. It's a Zelda clone.
Tunic is a Zelda clone. It's fairly mid.
Okay.
It's been nominated for Innovation Awards on Steam, which is a little weird to me because it feels it's innovative in comparison to many Zelda games, but I don't know if that's necessarily the same as being innovative in general. You know what I mean? It's mid. It's okay. It's another one of those games that if you play it, you'll enjoy it, but like it's not going to blow your mind. You're not going to remember it.
Yeah. Warhammer Darktide.
It's awesome.
It's
awesome.
It's Warhammer.
It's Warhammer.
Not only is it Warhammer, like I have some criticisms of it. We'll get to there, but like, okay, fundamentally up front, it nails the Warhammer 40k style and setting. You feel like you're in Warhammer, right? It nails the gameplay and the gunplay. Weapons feel punchy and loud and powerful. You know, your las guns go pew pew exactly how you want them to. Bolters, they slam and explode. You know, the melee weapons, the chainsword feels chunky and brutal. Honestly, I'd put it right up there. Okay. There's two criticisms I have. One, character creation visually kind of weak. And two, linked with one, is it launched with some incomplete features, but a very complete fucking cash shop in a game that's already buy to play. So I'm not crazy about that. It feels like the monetization end of it is quite bad. That said, it is cosmetic only, so while I don't think that's necessarily an excuse, it might not be a deal breaker for most people, and it isn't for me. So I say it's awesome.
Okay.
Oh, that's what that great tier says. This came out. It's so hard to see it.
Yeah, I might just.
To be fair, it's hard to see the games in that tier too because everyone forgot about them before they came out.
Yeah. Okay. There's a lighter gray. So for games that I noticed that weren't on here, there is Switch Sports, which goes in trash.
Is it because of the Mii's?
Look, all I'm saying is
it's bad.
All I'm saying is when I hear the word Switch Sports, I don't think Nintendo Switch. I think BDSM.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm surprised you guys have Bayonetta in mid. Now that I look at it. and Horizon Forbidden West, parents would be upset. Creation, you'd be like, those games are good.
No, incredibly mid.
He agreed with you with the story because he couldn't stand the story of freaking Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what other games have come out that. Oh, there. You know that High on Life game? That's like the
Oh
biggest
Jesus!
game on.
I wish I didn't, but yes.
Like okay, so if this is on, I'd probably say mid. The writing's atrocious, but it's a solid. You know,
It has the same problem as like your Borderlands, your Rick and Morty, all that kind of stuff, where it's way too pleased with itself, and it just drags out something that should be a 5-word punchline into literally 6 minutes of just incoherent, worthless babble.
Since you said that again, I actually get to ask, is it a problem if it doesn't take itself seriously though?
You can be lighthearted in a game and take like a very fun tone on something without being insipid and stupid and offensively dumb. Like you can be lighthearted without being idiotic. A good example of that is something like River City Girls, for example. That one was lighthearted. It was very much a parody. It was very goofy, and it lampooned a lot of genre conventions and goofed around with the mechanics a lot for it. And yet, it was fun, and it felt more of like an affectionate parody than an insult. Something like High on Life just feels like an insult to gamers. It's like, oh, you shot the child because I do, and then it's like, oh, you're not supposed to do that. I'm surprised it let you. It's like, well, congratulations, you've discovered video games are a thing. Welcome to the fucking club.
Oh yeah, and you know that one clip where he's just like talking, like he just like references like 6 anime within like a 30-second time span.
Yeah,
like,
anime. You know that thing that's popular that the
Yeah.
creator of this doesn't know anything about but wants to reference to feel topical and interesting? Let me talk about it at length and just keep going. Like, don't you really like it when games have this run-on dialogue that just keeps going and going? It's kind of weird when that happens and people just keep talking and everybody's slowly going insane, but they just keep talking. And when you think about it, that's actually kind of an interesting parody of the parody. Because you see my point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I get what you mean. It just gets annoying.
That was self-referential humor.
The like gun thing even mispronounces Evangelion as Evangelion.
All I'm saying is that game would be a lot better if you could put a silencer on every fucking gun.
Yeah. And then okay, also for another game that I would put in awesome, I would put in awesome would be Neon White. It's not on here, but I would.
Why isn't it?
Neon White, flashy, focused, tight gameplay design, fairly interesting characters actually.
Doesn't take itself seriously.
Great,
Doesn't
it's
take
amazing.
itself too seriously. I would not get points because it is so niche. It is basically a game for speedrunners and people who like speedrunners. I don't necessarily say that's a bad thing, but it's going to make it very hard for most people to get into it as a game, which I do think accessibility in design in a game is important. So I would call it good, not awesome.
Well, okay, this is where. So, okay.
It always looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool, and also like it's in small chunks. It's not like you have to speedrun the entire thing in one go, and you can just like go through the level, just normally, and then make some progress. But you're not going to get some of those like special extras or character interactions. Like I like. You don't have to get like gold for every single stage. I think you just need bronze, which tends to be pretty lenient from what I remember. Yeah, and by the way, if you have not watched my Neon White streams, it's pretty epic. You should check them out.
I've seen some of them, and it makes me want to purchase the game. I just haven't yet because going fast and throwing things is just fun.
Yeah, you know, like when I saw the trailer, I think I saw it in Nintendo Direct first. I immediately like imagine like a like CS:GO Surf, something like that. It makes me want like an infinite mode where I can just like where all the levels are like connected, where I don't have to go through a loading screen and just like go through the whole thing.
I almost feel like if that game needs a new mode, what it needs is like a procedural mode. Because you won't get quite the same tight level design in a procedural mode, but it would be quite cool to have effectively an infinite stage that you could play as like an alternate form.
Yeah, I don't know, because the level design is really tight. Like everything is there for a reason. So I'm not sure how well that would work.
It might need some tweaking, and it would probably be a decent amount of work, but it would probably also be very interesting because you could easily have the same procedural seed be pitched to every player, which would lead you to ongoing competitions that would always be fresh because there'd always be something new. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. The Gray Ghost is saying Farming Simulator is Game of the Year.
So here's my question. I remember asking you about this before, Manic, but I kind of want to pitch this to the room here. So games that are still early access, not technically out yet, but are getting updates actively in this year. I feel like they're worthy of inclusion, and there's two that I think are worth naming.
Okay, go for it.
All right. So right off the bat, you've got Satisfactory.
I've heard good things about that game.
Fairly niche game, not as strict or difficult to like come to grips with as something like a Factorio. Factorio is arguably tighter designed, but Satisfactory is more approachable and has a good creative element. You can build fun things. You can create pipe spaghetti everywhere and make you can throw nuclear weapons all around an ecosystem and detonate a whole biome. It's great fun. And you can also get the Tesla Cybertruck in that game if you know how to access a certain secret. So it's a lot of fun.
Also, the developers did not bend the knee to like pressure for something. I remember hearing that.
Golf. There's a running joke in the community that they should add golf to the game. I don't know why. It's just something everybody started saying at one point, and it was really quite funny. And they just continually say, no, we are never adding golf.
That's actually kind of funny.
Another game, and this one is actually flown a little under the radar, which is a shame because it's actually amazing. If you like city builders, Timberborn. It's quite strange. It's a game where you have log-powered machines and things like that, and you build a colony of beavers with very interesting stackable building and water physics mechanics. You effectively have to survive a series of increasingly punishing droughts while keeping your beaver colony flourishing. And as you build it up, you start to add, new resources and build ever more large and elaborate dams and structures. If you like city builders, it's A+. It's a fantastic game, and it's still being developed actively. So, highly recommend.
Okay. All right, but I think we're gonna have to, without any of the extra games that aren't on here, we're gonna need to put something in Game of the Year. So, how are we gonna end it? Which one is going at the top?
That's a good question. I already know my answer, but I need to.
Is that like Xenoblade?
Heck yeah, Xenoblade.
Am I allowed to be a shitter and call it Dying Light 2 just for the upset win?
Actually, maybe. Why not?
Dying Light 2.
Out? You didn't even know?
Absolutely. Dying Light 2 sweep. There we go.
Dying Light 2 sweep. No, honestly, my game of the year is actually not on here, but it's again another small game that nobody's ever heard of except me, but it's severely underrated.
Okay.
Dome Keeper.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
No,
it's a very small indie game on Steam. It's extremely tightly and intelligently designed. It is the tiniest little game. I think it's literally like a 2-man team that makes it. But it's fantastic. And I'm pretty sure it's also like $5 or something, like $10.
Okay.
So.
Ooh, that's solid. But I think my criticism of Kirby and the Forgotten Land kind of excludes it from getting Game of the Year.
So and that criticism was?
The post game content. I think that's where it falls flat. So I think you know what? Xenoblade 3. There we go. Wait, is Elden Ring not on here?
No, Elden
Ring's not on this. Wait, it's not on the
tier list? It already
list?
won Game of the Year at freaking the TGAs. Okay, so it doesn't count. I guess.
Okay, I need to
Look.
create my own. This is actually garbage.
Look, here's my rundown, right? Game of the year, if you like artsy games, Ghostwire hands down. If you like, multiplayer co-op type stuff, horde shooters and that kind of thing, it's Darktide. If you like a single player experience that's all around extremely solid with great mechanics, it's Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
think that
obviously,
also goes to Xenoblade too.
hey, if you like JRPGs, Xenoblade is a great option as well. I'm not knocking it.
What about Sifu? Because I thought you was going to say Sifu for a second.
Sifu is a very tightly designed game, and in many ways it's great, but it's focusing on doing only one thing well. And while it plays very well and it's extremely solid and it is awesome, especially if you watch somebody skilled play it, I don't think it's game of the year potential for the same reason that I think other things fall short. It's the same criticism I have with something like Neon White. It's awesome, but it's not for everybody, which makes it kind of hard to make a game of the year when most people aren't going to really be able to get into it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just yeah. I do not like this tier list. This is actually unfortunate. How many
Yeah, it didn't have a
games
lot
are-
of games.
Yeah. This is okay. The one I saw before that was actually bad. That it was missing a lot.
Probably should put Saints Row at the end of trash. By the way,
Saints Row at the okay.
It literally mocked people who actually like the game, and that's the most offensive part of freaking Saints Row.
Okay. All right. So do I? Well, yeah. I think this is the official of this tier list. I'll edit in the other games because obviously, but that's for a later time. That has been this tier list of. It doesn't even include Elden Ring.
Yeah, it doesn't even include Elden Ring. It doesn't include God of War.
To be fair, bringing up Elden Ring is almost pointless because literally everyone knows it's fantastic.
Yeah.
There's not even a debate on that. Everybody agrees it's fantastic. It's almost not even worth mentioning because what are you going to do? Just repeat that it's good? Everybody knows that.
I already knew Elden Ring was winning Game of the Year the second it was on the fucking list. I was like, no, before it even was on the list.
The virtues of Elden Ring are beyond reproach. There's not even anything to say because it's just good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was the tier list that doesn't even have Elden Ring. How did I miss that until the very end?
It's because there's not much that needs to be said. Elden Ring.
It's because this came out. That's where it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds about right. The Gray Ghost says, "Where's Dwarf Fortress?" Yeah, there's a lot of games that are missing.
Dwarf Fortress is another case like Sifu, like Neon White, where it's a very specific kind of player that will enjoy it. Great game, not for everyone. Yeah. I probably wouldn't even recommend it to most people.
While Elden Ring deserves Game of the Year, my personal Game of the Year is Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise by Silver Ronin. There was a Final Fantasy game that came out this year, right?
Stranger of Paradise actually has a really dedicated but small fan base. I'm not sure what's going on there because I haven't properly played it. I know a little about it, but not. It seems like one I'm gonna have to check out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Hatsworth actually has a really good point. Time is an illusion, and Outer Wilds is Game of the Year every year.
Okay, I was reading that. And I didn't even. I thought I was like, wait, that's not
time loops are a mechanic in the game. So it's
okay.
Okay.
Honestly,
time is illusion. I want my time back.
Listen. If you haven't played it, Outer Wilds is a fantastic streaming game that you have to play completely blind. Look up nothing about it. Just get it on a decent sale or something, and just play it end to end on stream. No off stream play. Trust me on this one.
Okay, do it. I'll trust you. So
wasn't it basically made by the same guys that made Fallout New Vegas?
No, it's I think it has a.
You're probably thinking of Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds is different.
Yeah,
Outer Wilds it's an exploration game. At points it can feel a little bit like a walking simulator, but don't confuse it for one because it's more of a puzzle game, really.
I thought it was this entire time.
No, it's more of an exploration and puzzle kind of experience. There's a decent amount of story and reading as well. So if you like story-based games, mysteries, and puzzles, you'll love it. Especially if you like interesting philosophical questions, because it's got those too.
Okay, I just feel like Elden Ring is literally the thumbnail of this stream, and then it's not even on the TV.
Not
What
on
you're saying is it's a bait and switch.
Bait and switch. Yeah, we'll see.
This man is a master with the bait.
That's what I felt like with freaking Borderlands 3. It was a massive bait and switch of my expectations.
Yeah. So okay. So but I posted on Twitter and my YouTube community tab. What is your favorite game that you played in 2022? And the wording of this, it's very open because it can extend to games that didn't come out this year but you played this year. And also, a lot of the comments were on the controller, because of course, yes, this is AI generated art by the Gray Ghost. Have I told you to subscribe to the Gray Ghost yet? You should. So,
whoa, okay,
the Gray Ghost. Okay,
I'm actually seeing that controller now. I did not see this tweet yet, and oh boy. I quite like the look of this girl. Her controller situation is a little difficult. I'm looking at that controller. Like, look at that controller, right? It looks like one of those controllers for people with physical disabilities. I think she has a big meaty claw in her hand, like she's a mutant.
Oh, I mean,
she's got like a huge, terrible talon.
I love how she has two of my favorite colors, blue and orange.
Orange and blue. All right.
She has two of my favorite things, left and right.
Left. Wait, okay, actually. There is another piece of AI generated art where one of the hands is like a cybernetic hook, like pirate.
They can't do hands right yet.
Yeah,
I keep telling everyone that AI art is gonna just be used as a tool. It's not gonna be used for like commissions. Yeah, can you commission me some AI art? No, it's gonna be like people should calm down with AI art.
That's a whole debate that I'm not touching.
Yeah. That's the Gray Ghost has videos on AI art if you want to subscribe to him. Okay. Menace says Sonic Frontiers, even though I haven't finished yet. Maud says Nier Replicant, wouldn't play that S ever again, and it's effing awesome. Okay. Captain Scab says Luminous Avenger IX2. Crimson Strider says Elden Ring.
Yeah, that game doesn't exist. No,
it doesn't. Yeah, and then somebody calls me out for the AI art. A nice round of spot the AI art. Also, Deep Rock Galactic.
You know what's another game we didn't mention on the list that's probably my answer to this question?
What?
Terra Invicta.
Huh.
Are you familiar with that one?
I have never heard of it.
Okay, XCOM, right? The reboot XCOM? There was a mod for that was called Long War that just made the game extremely, significantly longer and massively deeper. This modding team was insane. They quite literally went into a game with no mod support, and using a trial and error hex editing, they created an entire mod by reverse engineering the game. And the creators of XCOM were so impressed that they brought them on board to help them design mod tools for XCOM 2. After they released Long War for XCOM 2, they founded their own studio called Pavonis Interactive, and they made Terra Invicta. Now, the premise of Terra Invicta is you play as one of several secret to semi-secret, he's basically like a secret society, Illuminati style, basically. And you play as a group of people that are trying to control the nations, medias, and militaries of the world to your ideology, and every one of these factions has a different reaction to aliens showing up in the solar system. And the solar system is incredibly well modeled. It has literally hundreds of asteroids, planets, moons, planetoids, and you can explore and exploit all of them using remarkably realistic physics. Like, if you want to travel a ship from here to there, you have to have the right amount of delta V based on actual real world physics measurements. Of course, the alien ships have no such restrictions. So it's quite interesting in that regard. You have to develop future technologies and either join or assist or fight back against the aliens in some capacity, depending on your faction.
Okay.
It's a big game. One
Interesting.
game of that could easily run you like 80 to 90 hours.
Okay. Vale says Guardians of the Galaxy, which it did come out in 2021. I when we were covering this originally, this is like the very beginning of the Gamer Gear podcast. This was coming out. It was surprisingly good, as so my co-host said.
I hadn't played this one.
I know Whiplash really likes that game.
Yeah. I guess it's surprisingly good.
I don't like what they do with Drax. I know the movie version was a little bit of a departure from his original design in the comics, but like I like how he looked in the movie a lot. He was just more likable.
Okay, normie. Okay,
Yeah, that's when they subvert everything. Is when the movies.
Stolen Stew says Elden Ring. Sadil says Final Fantasy Origins Stranger of Paradise. That game again. Elden Ring or XCOM 2?
Cooper just gifted me that game, XCOM 2.
All right, I'm pretty sure you can get it for like $2 or something like that. So like,
XCOM 2 is fantastic. Playing it doesn't. It's technically a standalone sequel. Weird quirk about XCOM 2 is that it's actually a sequel to you losing in XCOM 1. Like, if you fail in XCOM 1 and you lose the game, XCOM 2 actually follows off of that. So technically, the canon ending to XCOM 1 is you failing to defeat the aliens entirely.
Yeah.
It's nice when people lose at times but don't die, and then use a second chance.
Second chance. Okay. Trickster says Armored Core Silent Line. It's cool. Hess
Armored
says
Core is one of those franchises that's all over the place.
Yeah. Hess says Richard Burns Rally, and Lord Pepsi says Contra 3 on the SNES.
Speaking about games like on the SNES, I actually was playing through Hollow Knight this year. That game's fun.
That is not an SNES game.
I said speaking about games like the on the SNES.
Okay.
Hollow Knight is honestly one of my all-time favorite games. All right, I'm going to put this one to you because I've discussed this among my personal friends before. The Metroidvania genre needs to be renamed to Holotroid because I got to be honest, Castlevania just isn't that good. Castlevania has always been mid, and I'm sorry to people who like it, but your taste is mid.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hollowvania, but Metroid doesn't get that many games. We only got Dread last year.
Dread was actually kind of mid too, but still.
I like Dread a lot. I would say it's good. There is like all the things they allow you to do in Dread, such as the sequence breaking and all that. It's really nice, but you can't get lost in that game. You always know how and where to go.
Not always, and that was one of the big annoyances. There are points where it's like, oh, hey, you need to proceed to this one path that's behind a hidden wall that isn't really hinted in any way. So it pads out its time by wasting your time running around shooting at basically unlabeled walls until you find the path forward.
Yeah, but it was more of a homage to the older games.
I guess, but I don't see how you can excuse it just because it's an homage if that homage is objectively a negative in the gameplay.
That is true, but the only way I've seen where it was like forced was after you can get the power up to see through walls.
Yeah, that is a power. I would say like I probably got stuck more in Hollow Knight than I did in Metroid.
Hollow Knight is actually really approachable though, because outside of just the very first portion of the game that is basically linear, once it opens up, you always have 5 or 6 paths to explore. You literally just have to open up the big map and look for a dead end or an open end to your map that you haven't been yet.
The beginning of Hollow, like I actually dropped Hollow Knight after like an hour of playing it, and then didn't pick it up until like 7 months later when I first played it. and then
Because of
that's
the linear portion at the beginning?
I just like got frustrated and lost at the beginning. Because like there was just like it was like linear, but there was only one way to progress.
One thing that the game probably could do better, and this is one of very few criticisms I have of Hollow Knight. There's only a couple. One thing is that early portion of the game, it would be nice if it gave you a slight nudge in a specific direction, because in that linear portion at the beginning of the game is probably when the game is weakest.
Yeah.
The boss fights in that game is fantastic.
Yeah. I still like Hollow Knight, right? I do. But like that beginning portion did it was a barrier that it was a hurdle I had to jump over.
I don't know. My original playthrough of Hollow Knight on stream, I was so thoroughly impressed with that game and so deep into it that I actually ended up getting 113% completion when I finally wrapped my first playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was so gung ho about exploring every nook and cranny that I actually ended up getting the true ending on my first go.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I think I got the true
game.
ending too. But
so here's my question. Here's my question to you, gentlemen. Do you think Silk Song is real?
Never coming out.
I don't think it's gonna come out.
Does it exist? Yes. Is it coming out? Maybe.
I don't think I don't think it even exists. I think what happened is it was a big psyop. The government was testing the limits of people's psyches, and after they made the test, they're like, "Oh shit! Now we have to actually make the game. People are too excited. We'll be exposed." That's what happened.
You have to actually
never gonna
make
come
the
out.
game now.
All right. You thinking my precious Silk Song's never coming out? I need to play as my Hornet.
All I'm saying is I will never recover from my boy Chet. I should clarify. I named my boy Chet. My boy Chet dying at the end of the first game. I will never recover from that. I cried. I cried like a bitch.
All right. And by the way, before we move on to the community tab thread, I ran a poll saying and the results say 30% of you have an Instagram. So make sure you follow the new Instagram, the official Instagram for the channel, where say you're not getting YouTube notifications here, then you can get through Instagram. There's obviously Discord and all and Twitter, but I just figured put that other avenue, and also I'll be uploading my shorts straight to Instagram in the near future. Hopefully this account doesn't get banned. So
what's the chances of you getting banned, man? I don't think that's gonna happen. What are you talking about?
Who knows? But let's go through the comments of basically the same question, different demographic. 36 comments here. I only have one game from 2022, and it's Sonic Frontiers. I really struggle with the par times. I'm assuming that's parry, maybe?
Yeah, it's parry, even though you just have to hold down the button.
You just hold. Yeah. But it's really enjoyable overall. Scarlet and Violet was my favorite. ... Read more to laugh at. And then there is Defenders. Yeah, that bad. I haven't played it. The memes and glitches were on another level, though. I played the game, didn't encounter any glitches through my playthrough, but I'm pretty sure there's still room for improvement, though. Yes, I'm talking about the unvoice acted dialogues.
And somebody argues like, Pokemon Company don't make that much, so they can do voice actors. Like, are you serious,
bruh? Yeah, I mean, it could.
I don't get with the thing I don't get with the voice acting thing, that debate and the weird way people defend it is like, voice acting would cost a lot less than. You don't even really need full voice acting. You only need it in certain moments, right?
Yeah, you only need it for the core characters, essentially.
The core characters and just in the cutscenes.
Yeah, but yeah, there's just like Zelda Breath of the Wild and Persona 5. They do that, where it's like selective.
They could have it for like Nurse Joy and all that. It's like, hey, I'm taking your Pokemon.
Yeah, and like how Persona 5 does it is that some people just have some phoned in lines or noises when you talk to them, even if it's not like a fully voice acted thing, right? So you're still kind of hearing that voice without it being a fully voice acted thing. It's it's hard to describe, but you'll if you played Persona 5, you know what I'm talking about. Um Elden Ring and God of War, because of course. Um Ready Player Cookie Dog says, so far Bayonetta 3, Scarlet and Violet, and Poppy playtime. I'm pretty
Poppy's
sure.
playtime. I've heard good things about that. I have not had a chance to properly play it myself yet.
Somebody just likes mommy long legs.
I don't know much about it other than the core concept. I like part 2 came out this year or something, right?
Yeah, chapter 2.
Chapter
There's
2, yeah.
also a multiplayer version of it that's being developed that I've actually gotten to play a little bit, and it's pretty scuffed, but it is a beta, so it's quite interesting. It's sort of like if Dead by Daylight had more weird puzzles in it. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting little option.
Okay. Yeah, if DLC counts, I would say the Lions of North of Europe Universalis 4 brought a lot of flavor and gameplay to my home region. Wish to support independent mechanics wouldn't always cuck my boy Denmark, though. I don't know what he's talking about, but I believe it.
If you're talking about the Lions team for freaking Detroit, Michigan, yeah, they're actually doing somewhat good. Not the only reason I know that is because I have a Lions hoodie. Don't care about football, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're wearing it because you're doing good for this first time in forever." I was like, "No, I didn't know."
I don't think anyone here knows anything about football.
I don't.
Me either.
No, he's talking about that was. Yeah, I mean, Europa Universalis. Lions of the North is for the Scandinavian and Danish countries and everything, all that whole bit.
Okay.
Apparently, support independence mechanics are always... Oh, Denmark breaks up every game.
Real.
That's what it sounds like.
Epic's Wallop says, either Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope or Sonic Frontiers. Yeah, that wasn't in the tier list either. But I heard like that's really, really good. So yeah. What's that tier list about? Who knows? Hateful Gaming 1800 says Pokemon Legends because it's the first Pokemon game to actually surprise me with how good it is. Thumb Ugly says I haven't played a game brand new since Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't think I will again. I'm like Space Engineers and X4 at the moment.
That game doesn't count as a remake.
I think he means like at launch.
Oh, if he's talking about a brand new game, that still doesn't count. It's a remake.
Fair. Like Exner says, playing shooters on a controller is like a disability simulator.
FF7 Remake isn't even really a remake, though. They call it that, but it's more like bad fan fiction.
Yeah, like they're taking the core of Final Fantasy VII and then just doing whatever they want
all
with it.
over it. Yes.
Yeah. Gundam Evolution. Mac back on the track says, what did you do to that poor controller? JoJo Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle, DNF Duel, Elder Ring, and God of... A lot of people are like misspelling Elden Ring with Elder. So I think that might be an autocorrect thing.
It's an autocorrect thing.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Okay.
I've done it. You try to type Elden Ring on a phone, and it calls it Elder Ring.
Okay. God of War Ragnarok. Yeah. Goat Simulator 3.
Wait, God of War. Don't you mean God of? Hey, to solve this puzzle, you should.
Oh God, is that really how the game is?
Have you not seen that?
That's every AAA game now.
They'll have like an extremely basic, simple puzzle. It's like you have to swing a lantern or something like that to hit something, and every 5 seconds, a character will be like, your companion character, whoever they are, will be like, "Hey, you know what you should do? You should turn this lever right here in exactly this way, and that'll swing the lantern. That'll help." Well, thank you. I didn't have 5 seconds to think.
I don't have a brain. Thanks for telling me.
Well, I mean, if you're a God of War fan, maybe. I mean,
Jaded Warlock says Digimon Survive, and I believe Jaded Warlock is in the chat. I've seen him in chat for this stream. So shout out Jaded Warlock. Goat Simulator 3. I forgot that game came out. real. Um, I honestly don't know. I'm just playing Darkest Dungeon and Left 4 Dead 2. Sounds about right.
Left 4 Dead 2 is a good game.
Is this
Left 4
AI
Dead 2
art?
is a real game, but it also feels quite dated at this point. It's kind of hard to get back into when you've been away from it for ages.
I only played it
No.
like a handful of times.
Dude,
On
that-
You know,
Xbox.
I think it was technically this year that that attempted spiritual successor to it, Back 4 Blood.
Yeah.
That really was a miss. And you know what's weird about it is
A lot of people still like it.
everybody who played it, every single person I've known who played it said the same thing. They said, this is objectively better designed than Left 4 Dead 2. It's one of the best designed games I've ever played, and I still don't like it. For no given reason. Like, everyone just kind of agrees it just doesn't hit right. It just doesn't feel right. And it's impossible for anybody to put their finger on it, but just like nobody really likes that game that much. It's okay, but it's not like Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, my co-hosts liked Back 4 Blood. I think they might still occasionally play it. But yeah, it just kind of fell off. It's surprising. Yeah, and I'm seeing more Sonic Frontiers, Overwatch 2. I think that's the first time Overwatch 2 was brought up in the discussion.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen Overwatch 2 brought up in a positive light.
Yeah.
The most positive I've ever seen somebody talk about Overwatch 2 was, it's pretty good or it's pretty good, but. And
but
I genuinely think that is the first unvarnished Overwatch 2 praise I've ever heard.
Did they really need to do what they did?
Yeah, we started off the season bashing Overwatch. We'll end it bashing more Overwatch. It's literally the thread throughout the entire season.
Well,
Yeah,
Blizzard kind of deserves it for bowing to the communist Chinese.
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also there's there like I asked Discord as well. So let me just go through these real quick. War Thunder, Elden Ring, Payday 2, or Frog Gun. Frog Gun's pretty good. It's it's an indie game that's it's like polygonal, like the N64, PlayStation 1. It's more similar to PlayStation 1 probably. Yeah, it's funny. Dark Souls 1 to 3, playing Bloodborne on my way to Elden Ring. Bruh's going through the entire catalog. Shredder's
has dedication. I appreciate
TMNT Shredder's Revenge. That's a good game. That's a really good game.
I've been dying to play that, but I haven't gotten to it yet because I want to play it with my older brother because we grew up with the old school. Hyperstone Heist is the best of the old school. I'm sorry, Turtles in Time. No, look, Turtles in Time. I get why people like it, but Hyperstone Heist was better. Everybody who's played it knows it's better. It's not my fault you were too poor to afford a Sega. Fight me?
Is that in the collection?
I don't think it is. It's weirdly enough, Hyperstone Heist was one of those games that just, I think its source code got lost or something, and it's just like never reappeared, which is a shame because it was actually the best of all the beat 'em ups by far.
Yeah. Because I have the collection of all the TMNT games that came out this year too, and I haven't actually played it yet. Splatoon 3.
Hyperstone Heist was the best one. Oh wait, no, it was apparently this was re-released in the Cowabunga collection, so it's in there.
Okay, yeah, so it's in there. Okay. Yoshkin, you said Xenoblade 3, Elden Ring. So new game Elden Ring, not from 2022, RimWorld. And by the way, join the Discord if you want to partake in these gaming discussions. I don't know, it's quite the party in there. But,
quite the only way anybody gets in contact with me. I use no other social media.
Yeah, but yeah, so basically, yeah, but yeah. By the way, do you want, let's just talk about next year, because more obviously there's more stuff coming next year. So so I've been playing some Persona 5 Royal. I don't know if you guys know. I've probably mentioned it like throughout the last 7 episodes of the Gamer Gear podcast. I'm 120 hours in. I'm gonna like give those their dedicated videos on it, and I obviously I would have wanted to or I don't know. It's a long ass game. Okay, I kind of didn't. I just wanted to enjoy it, take my time, right? And it was kind of the first, or I don't know, it's the first game in a long time. I think since Kirby, where I've just kind of like just played it, just not for the sake of streaming, you know.
Hmm.
But I'm thinking because I made this tweet. I made this tweet so people could hold me accountable. All right, my stream.
I will.
Okay, very cool. All right, my stream priorities: finish Sonic Frontiers, finish Pokemon Shield, Dead Space, and Persona 4, and hopefully that'll be around like January or oh shoot that yeah it's almost January already. Look, within the next 3 weeks, let's just say. And then Breath of the Wild before Tears of the Kingdom comes out, and Tears of the Kingdom is in May, correct?
Yeah, it's May 7th, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I got time.
I think it's May 7th or something like that. Now, you're the second person I know that haven't beaten Breath of the Wild. Interesting.
Well, I did beat Breath of the Wild, but I'm gonna replay it on stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because my friend that's supposedly a Zelda fan hasn't beaten Breath of the Wild yet.
yeah.
I gotta be honest. I dropped Breath of the Wild. I fell off that hard.
I honestly think that the longer you play it, the more flaws you see in it.
I didn't have to play it very long to feel like it just wasn't hitting right. It didn't feel like a Zelda game.
Yeah,
It doesn't have any traditional dungeon sucks.
Yeah, there's some Zelda purists that don't like it for that reason, but I can appreciate Breath of the Wild. It's probably my favorite Zelda game, I must say.
The combat doesn't hit with me, honestly, and it's all because of the weapon durability.
Okay. Well,
everything else about the combat's fucking fantastic.
yeah.
Weapon durability is annoying though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm gonna play. I think Persona 4 is shorter than both 5 and 3. So that's why I'm gonna go with it, and I'm gonna add some quality of life mods. So just because I can. Yeah, but I'm gonna try to actually finish the games I start streaming before hopping onto the next new thing. Which I know like Security Breach was like a meme on the channel for a while, but chances I'll probably come back to it. But after losing all my save data, that was just.
And if you get your PC back up and running to play some Black Ops 3 Custom Zombies, they have some FNAF maps.
Bro, it literally is. I'm on my computer right now.
You can actually play games now?
Yeah, I can.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
We got to play some Custom Zombies this week, then.
You know what was the first game I tested with the new rig?
Uh-oh. What's the first game you tested with the new rig?
Tyrone versus Cops.
I know. I saw you play that damn game. It's Cuck Simulator. Cuck Simulator. It's a spinoff from Cuck Simulator.
It is.
What the fuck is a what?
What is your friend? No.
He doesn't know the lore.
He needs to experience this. What is your name on freaking Steam? I'm giving you this game immediately.
All right.
No, literally just send it to me in a text right now. from freaking in Discord. Send it to me this moment.
Okay, apparently this is happening live, Chad. Apparently
we'll
this
do
is
it
what
live.
we're doing now. Oh my god. All right.
So okay, you saw me on Discord like playing Tyrone versus Cops.
Yes. I'm like, that's not a very technical game, so he could probably run it.
No, okay, thing is, like Cuckle Simulator and Tyrone versus Cops is very unoptimized. Like I was streaming Tyrone versus Cops, and this was back when it came out in February. It overheated my computer on stream. So that was bad. Hopefully he doesn't have the same issue. From what I played of Tyrone versus Cops so far, it's not having that same issue. So yeah, might end off the year with a Tyrone. Oh shoot. There's like after today, there's like one day that's the end of the year. Okay.
I'm just realizing that if he sends me a game with this kind of name, I'm gonna have to blind play this on stream, aren't I?
You can't stream it on Twitch because it's banned.
I don't stream on Twitch going forward. I used to, and I learned better.
So, yeah, YouTube is the preferable option. I'm not gonna say it's the way to go because the game's still Cuckold Simulator, but it's just preferable alternative to Twitch for this game. Yeah, it's quite
ominous.
Dude, I'd love to see that because dude, I want to see a blind person or somebody playing through it blind. It'd be hilarious because I had an idea of what the jokes were coming in.
I have literally no clue what the hell this is, so
Okay.
I'm okay. We could do that. We'll make that happen.
Okay, dude.
I will look up nothing about it. I will learn nothing about it. We're gonna go through this blind on stream at some point.
Personally, link me the personally send me the link to the stream. Okay. I want to see that.
Are you suggesting that you don't subscribe to me on YouTube, sir?
Well, I do.
He's suggesting that YouTube doesn't actually send him the links to your video.
That's fair. That's fair.
That is true.
YouTube does not actually like to tell people.
Yes, that more reason to join the Discord server and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, so you can get the notifications for when videos come out.
This man is a shilling master. I need to learn from him.
Fuck.
So true. Yeah, and by the way, if you want to help support the channel, all right, so you can keep us financially afloat, all right. So, I'm assuming you like anime if you're watching the stream, right? So, why don't you drink anime-inspired tea? So, I'm putting the link in the chat right now. All right, go to thedragonstreasure.com/manic and use my code Manic for 10% off your order of anime-inspired tea. There we go.
I might actually have to check this out because that sounds kind of amazing.
Yeah, dude, it's great. Yeah, the Dragon's Treasure, like he says, like, hey, if you don't like tea, it's because you're only drinking like the Lipton, the like dollar store stuff. This is good. This is good tea.
I just sent it to you. Enjoy.
I suspect that the entire audience is going to tear me apart for this, but I'll look forward to it.
Dude, no,
it is hilarious.
Yeah, don't spoil it for him. Don't spoil it for him. It's gonna be great.
I'm not. It is hilarious.
I'm sure this won't be fraying my sanity at all. I'm seeing that picture and it's hurting me. I'm pretty sure I went to school with that guy.
So yeah, this is a little preview of what's coming up next, but we're gonna I'm keeping tight-lipped on a few streams, on a few games I'm playing a stream because either it's gonna like be multiplayer and I'll have to like coordinate it with other people, and that always is, chances are with me it's always gonna get messed up. That's always the chance that happens.
It wouldn't let me do this all at once. So you're getting two things.
Wait, are you giving him Tyrone versus Cops too?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm getting the sequel as well. Good lord.
Yeah, I mean it's not as much of a sequel as it is a yeah, you'll know it. You'll play through both. You'll know when it falls in the timeline. So. The Cuckold Simulator timeline explained.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
I have so many questions and concerns about this. I don't want to even voice.
Okay.
You know what? You should voice them, but we're not going to give you any answers.
All right, but before we have questions regarding the tea. What does that sentence even mean? What is anime-inspired tea? Well, okay. If you look at the website and see the catalog of tea that you're able to buy, these are legally distinct from. It's very I don't know. There's like Spirit Bomb tea, some very
I
cool
have
stuff.
2 in my hands right now because I actually have bought from him and he has delicious tea. Elixir
Yeah.
of the Gods, Princess Peach Oolong. They're both delicious.
So what I'm hearing is I need to twist the thumb screws on Manic until he introduces me to his contacts that get him these wonderful sponsors.
This guy's amazing.
I
Is
mean,
he
he's
guy?
in the Discord server.
Oh, you're gonna have to introduce me later because I am a strong believer in tea.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm like the last. I'm like the last one or last content creator that he does the code for.
You know what? I should go pressure him then. I'll threaten him with a bear hug next time I see him at Mod Siri if he doesn't sponsor me.
Yeah, and And by the way, Spooky, I don't know if I want to say. Wait, when you said you were unable to go on the Game Award live stream, I actually went on his stream and like basically co-streamed it.
Yeah,
So.
I actually need to apologize for that. I had something very interesting come up in the sense of me suddenly having to move last minute to the apartment I now live in because it was a take that chance immediately or miss it. So I had to move relatively suddenly.
Yeah, so
which
it's
was
fair. You know,
not
yeah,
it was less than ideal, especially the part where I didn't have time to buy any furniture, but we're getting there a little at a time.
Yeah, it's all good. You know, the stream went amazingly, so that's cool.
Yeah, how do you feel? Okay, I need to catch up with you a little bit. How do you feel about the wonderful Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton?
Hey, you know that situation was really good for views. I will say, it was really good for views.
Oh my gosh. There's a freaking DLC called Coomer's Delight for Cuckold Simulator.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that actually makes the strippers naked. So not recommended for streaming, at least.
Okay, it's a good thing I didn't give it to him.
I mean, like you can toggle it on and off.
You know it's even funnier?
What?
Right now it's on sale for 69 cents.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, I can see the pain increasing as this goes on.
I can't wait for you to actually play the game. It's gonna be great.
I am 100% certain this game is going to be edgy enough that I'm going to get in trouble for playing it.
In trouble with who?
With Susan, she just wants to join.
General.
Susan just wants to join in on the fun. That's why you're gonna get in trouble.
Oh no! Like my reputation can get any worse, I guess.
Your reputation can't get worse than some things that I say. Trust me.
Yeah, you would be surprised.
He gets a little sussy on the Mario Kart streets.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Yeah, but
you have no proof. Don't look at my thoughts.
Yeah, here's a look at some of the beginner teas for you all starting out. There's a Sebastian's Morning Early Grey, Vanilla Cream, Iroh's Legacy, Wizard Beer, a beginner sample pack. So I think that's just like a bunch of different teas in one. Yeah, so Magical Girl Jupiter, Magical Girl Venus, Cherry, Marzipan, Oolong, John's Trip to the Bahamas, and Sebastian's Morning Early Grey. So you get those 5 all in one bag.
Amateur. He said oolong. It's oolong.
Oolong. Yeah, my bad.
Oolong.
My bad. Apple cider tea. Oh, that's sold out. Magical Girl Mars, strawberry white, cherry green tea. Man, this looks delicious.
Yeah, just get like your own steam ball so you can just put them in and then boil the water and it's delicious.
Real. That's so true. Yeah, so make sure, make sure you click that link in the pinned chat. Get some of the Dragon's Treasure. Use code Manic for 10% off. Very cool. So yeah, so what are you anticipating, game wise from 2023?
Ooh, that's challenging because there are a lot of the games that I quite like these days are early access games. So, you know, they're arguably out already. They're just not finished yet. So it's a little bit hard to answer that question in this day and age.
Yeah.
As
No,
of now, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
yeah.
That's it so far because I don't really know if anything else is coming out next year that pokes my fancy.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, the new SpongeBob game, the Cosmic Shake.
That might be good, but that's not like excited. I'm just more curious why they turned Patrick into a freaking Fairly Odd Parents star.
Fairly Odd Parents star. I think there's lore to it. I mean, like, okay, so they wanted to expand SpongeBob's moveset and not have a bunch of different characters.
Yeah, but I like the different characters from Battle of Bikini Bottom.
Well, okay. If you think about it, like in the sequel, the movie game, all right, they removed Sandy because Sandy's irrelevant from the movie, but gave Patrick Sandy's lasso ability, but it's his tongue on
Yeah.
ice. I think that worked out pretty because I don't know. Like Patrick seemed equal to SpongeBob in the movie game,
Yes.
where he wasn't.
But is
in
he equal
battle.
to SpongeBob? As a
No,
character?
Patrick is better because Patrick just doesn't give a fuck about it.
Yeah, actually, okay. I think
Who
Patrick
are
may
you
be
people?
better in
the
the
movie
game than SpongeBob.
It's the only game I didn't beat either of those two games. I always got stuck at the final boss. No, I didn't even make it to the final boss at the movie game. I lost the game at that time.
There's a huge difficulty spike in when you get to Planktopolis.
Yes, that's where I got stopped at.
Yeah, that's.
I got stopped at because to bring the padding machine back, you need this many golden spatulas. It's like, what?
Yeah. There is some padding to it. I still love the game.
They should just re-release that one. By the way,
they should.
Not a bad game.
They should absolutely remake the movie game. I hope they do.
I gotta be honest. I'm looking forward a lot to Kerbal Space Program 2. It's going to be starting its early access probably sometime this year coming up. February, I think it is.
Was infatuated with the game in high school.
Well, the sequel is supposed to improve on it in a lot of ways. Just fundamental engine improvements are going to make a huge difference. But also, I'm also really looking forward to Jedi Survivor. It's like the last good Star Wars content. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, and it's really gone to shit recently because of Disney.
Yeah. And tell me about it.
This is like the last good Star Wars stuff we're still getting, They even ruined The Mandalorian in the second season. So like we're running out of good Star Wars. So I'm just hoping it's good. I'm begging on my knees for it to be good.
Star Wars is dead. Kathleen Kennedy killed it.
For real. Yeah. Silver Ronin. Silver Ronin has his in chat. Street Fighter 6, Wild Hearts, Final Fantasy 16, Mega Man Battle Network Collection, Ishin Like a Dragon, a Wolong, Atomic Heart.
Atomic Heart looks really good. You know what I'm really looking forward to the most, though, I think?
What?
The System Shock remake.
Oh, yeah.
Have you played the demo for that?
Oh, there's a demo out?
It hits different. Yeah, there's a demo for it that's just like the first area of the game, no save function. But what's quite nice about it is it's a modern, polished take on old style game design. So it plays like a modern game and feels good, but the design is all retro. It's so perfect. This is exactly what I want in a remake of a classic game.
Okay, that sounds actually pretty interesting.
Play the demo. It's on Steam. Just get the demo and play it. You will be hooked immediately because it feels like a game from my childhood with all of the modern polish added on top. So it just plays nice. It's so good. Cannot be beat.
Well, that's cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'm strongly anticipating 2023. I think it'll be pretty cool.
Wait, I see that freaking T-Man has something called Wizards beer. Wizards aren't manly enough to drink beer.
You clearly haven't played D&D with me, my
Is that-
friend.
is
Wizard
that
benders
lore?
are the stuff of legend. You get
Oh,
drunk
okay.
and you start inventing new spells. Anything could happen.
And also there's like a link at the top that says Padoru. What is this? Okay, wait. Is this it? Okay, the Dragon Treasure wrote. Okay, he literally just said. Okay, it's just a link to the newsletter.
Yes, I'm surprised he didn't have like a Dragon Treasure freaking Padoro.
What is Padoru? I don't get it.
It's from Fate. It was
Of course, it's from Fate.
Yes.
Ni.
Quite literally the person spinning around with a knapsack in that art style that you see all the time.
Okay.
Tsukimi something. I don't
Yeah, you fucking I can't sing it either. That's why I'm not singing it.
You know what's actually, speaking of music, you know what's another game that we missed on the tier list that was actually a really great one? Metal Hellsinger.
Yeah. I mean, that looked interesting when I saw it in the Game Awards. I don't know much else about it though.
That one also has a demo that is worth playing. Like if you play the demo, you pretty much will get the feel of what the game is like.
And is it more like, or is it just VR, or is it?
It's not a VR game.
Okay.
No, Metal Hellsinger is like if the 2016 and Doom Eternal was also a rhythm game. It has fewer weapons, but they're on a rhythmic tempo, and playing that game correctly, once you like get into the flow of it, it hits different. Because I mean, just read the reviews. It's like, hey, this metal album comes with a fantastic game for free.
No, that reminds me of the Conversity? No. Controversy. That's what you call it with Doom Eternal and Mick Gordon.
Yeah, we covered that how many episodes ago?
Like
Mick was done dirty. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Man is a legend. It's like 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna check. Episode 36. So
it was 4.
Well, I mean, technically we had the anime special, so technically, 5.
Yeah, to give you an idea, Metal Hellsinger, your narrator is a living skull that you can use to shoot fireballs. That is voiced by Troy Baker doing a handsome cowboy accent, and the soundtrack is basically just a who's who of metal singers. And when you build your combo high enough in the game, the full soundtrack actually unlocks, and you get the fucking vocal track. It hits different.
Nice.
If you like metal music at all, even if you're not like a super fan or anything like that, it's a great experience. Highly recommend.
Very cool. All right, but I think that will be it for this season finale of the Gamer Gear podcast. Thank you.
This season finale.
Yeah, this. Yeah. So thank you all for hopping in the stream. Thank you so much, whether you're watching or listening on Spotify, whether you're watching the replay or if you're live. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for having me. And hey, everybody, play more games in 2023. You owe it to yourself. The world's going to shit anyway. Have some fun while you're going.
I'll try, but you guys have the best of the last year, best of the rest of the last year, and have a happy new year.
You too.
Bye-bye.
See you. All right. And by the way, I did set for the stream, I did set this to redirect. So we're gonna raid Tyrone. Okay. We're gonna raid.
How do you even do that redirect?
So it's in you might have to be. I heard you have to be 1,000 subscribers or more.
Okay.
To do
that's
it.
probably why I haven't seen it.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
That's another thing I'm gonna have to learn at some point, I think.
Yeah.
Spooky, if you hated Borderlands 3, you're gonna love my review then. Absolutely love my fucking review. Right now it's 30 pages long and I'm still not done.
Ooh. How long has the script been in development?
Technically for about 2.5 years, but if you want to go for the development of how much I've done, over the last week I've done 90% of the damn script, but all of it's been in my mind from when I'm driving and all the time.
I know how that feels. One day I just need to go to a coffee shop and just like write a bunch of scripts with my laptop. That's just what I need to do. But AC says, when is Spooky going to stream Cuckold?
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, this sounds like a good opportunity for me to plug something.
Yes. Yeah. If you put something in the YouTube chat, I'll rent you so you can link whatever.
So actually, I haven't scheduled it just yet officially on YouTube, but tomorrow is going to be my big re-debut about 8 months later than intended, with whole new model, whole new setup. We are taking VTubing up to the professional level. I'll show you after, Manic. It looks good.
All right.
It looks so good.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be hanging out with some friends, playing some party games. Manic, I forgot to ask you before this, but you should totally be there. I'm putting you on the spot live, so you can't say no.
Okay. I'll be there.
Yeah. We should so we're just gonna do, quick re-debut, do the normal thing with some slides, tell you a little about myself, a little bit of lore, we'll have some fun, play some party games with people, and then watch the ball drop for New Year's.
Whenever I think
Should be a
of
chill
like
time.
VTuber slideshows, I just the first thing that comes to mind is the Pipkin Pippa feet thing.
Oh God.
Unfortunately for me, I have burned into my mind the time that Salome decided to show her own intestine photos on her debut.
What?
That's-
What?
Pippin had an interesting question. So,
Uh-oh.
most people take showers, right?
Uh-oh.
How many of you actually wash your feet in the shower?
My shower actually is like double size. It's one of those stand-up showers, but a big one, and it actually has a bench in it, so I can sit down and wash my feet very comfortably. It's quite nice.
Yeah, but how many people actually actively wash their feet, or do they just let the rundown wash it?
No, look, the way you do it is you start at the top and you work your way down so that the rundown washes it first, and then you wash it a second time. You get doubles. So you have nice, clean feet. And take it from me, I don't even wear shoes. I float most of the time, but not all the time. So I have to be an expert.
Uh-huh.
So you just have a ghost tail. I got you.
No, I have thigh highs.
Okay. So Spooky, do you have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
I haven't played a Mario Kart game since the Nintendo 64 was a thing.
So you don't have Deluxe, damn it.
I do not. Should I?
Yeah, sure. You should join us every Sunday and play Deluxe with us. It's really fun.
I have a feeling I should just end the stream now before it
I thought you already ended the stream when I said Happy New Year's.
No, okay. I'm ending